I feel like the trans community is probably where the gay community was 30, 40 years ago. I mean, they fought for everything in courts, publicly. They fought for marriage equality. They fought for all these issues, you know, and they just never gave up. If they lost in the vote, they went to court, and eventually society came around to understanding the issues, and eventually we had marriage equality. The trans community's in that position. That's pretty much what I've done over the last couple of years. I've tried to educate myself and also publicly been trying out there to get people to know that, you know what, we're not crazy people. If there's one thing I have gotten an enormous amount of flack on over the last few years is that I'm older. I've always been on the Republican side. I've always been. And right now, they have the executive branch, they got Congress, they got the Senate, and they got 2/3 of all governors in the United States. I think it's a good thing that I'm on the Republican side because I've got it in. Has this administration set us backwards? Absolutely. And every time they've done it, I've fought it. I work very closely with the American Unity Fund, which their sole mission statement for the American Unity Fund is to get the Republican Party to do a better job when it comes to all LGBT issues. On the economic side, I'm very conservative. I believe in limited government. I believe in lower taxes. I believe in less regulations. I want a thriving economy. I want Americans to be able to succeed. But socially, I'm much more progressive. We have to get them to be more progressive when it comes to social issues. I mean, it's their biggest problem. And I work on those things. I go back to Washington, D.C. every couple of months. Nobody really knows I'm there. I do it, quietly as I possibly can. I was back a month ago on the whole military issue, which is not going to go through, but that's still, it just doesn't help us. When they start doing things against our community, number one, we have job discrimination, okay? Well, when the federal government says that a trans person is not even qualified to be in the military, I mean, the trickle-down effect is just ridiculous, okay? There's 19 countries around the world that trans people can serve openly in the military, including Israel. England you can serve, Australia you can serve. We're not asking for lower standards. I mean, we have literally trans guys, frontline Marines, that you would never know in a million years that they were trans, you know? So if you're qualified, you should be able to serve, no questions asked. So I fight those types of wars. I fight the equality wars. I do it all very quietly. We're going to fight this war, and we'll be okay in the end. I only talked to him once, and that was during the campaign. He was actually good when it comes to LGBT issues. I'm not talking about now. I'm talking about when he was during the campaign. He was the first Republican ever to mention LGBT issues, to which I thought was probably the biggest applause of the night was when he says we've got to do the right thing when it comes to all LGBT issues. Honestly, and I haven't talked to him since, I don't know what happened when he got in there. And it was extraordinarily disappointment. And I was very open about it. And I'm happy that I'm on the Republican side and I got an in, and I can get in and I can talk to these people and say, look, we're not crazy, Yeah, we're not crazy, but we got a lot of work to do. 2 years ago, I was talking to people. I was back in Washington. Some very big super PAC people mentioned that they would back me if I went on the political side, and for the Senate. And at the time, I thought about it. Then, over the last year and a half, I go, I just can't see myself there. I mean, what's going on in Washington, D.C. is just disgraceful. The hate, the media, all the things that are going on there. Honestly, I just don't even want to be involved in that. So what I've decided to do, being on the outside and working with groups like the American Unity Fund, I can influence more votes by being on the outside and working everybody. So that's pretty much what I do. Yeah, I constantly go back to Washington, D.C. quietly and get some things done, change people's minds.